It's not often that the public instantly realizes a new artist is in it for the long run. Yet when Chris Brown made his debut in 2005, there was no question that he'd become a cultural mainstay. If there was ever a perfect example of the total package, the teen sensation embodied it perfectly. Not only could Brown sing and dance beyond his years, but he also had an innate charisma. For anyone who might have second-guessed the singer's future, his triple platinum and multi-hit producing debut album removed all doubt. The sophomore record exclusive went on to further solidify Chris Brown's star power, earning him his second #1 hit and several top 10s. Some may even argue there was no way for him to be any more accomplished at the given time. What came next was something no one could have ever predicted. Almost overnight, the superstar's career took a complete nosedive, with the horrifying news between him and his then-girlfriend Rihanna. On February 8, 2009, Brown turned himself in for assaulting Rihanna following an earlier argument. The ensuing injuries led Rihanna to be hospitalized as she suffered severe damage to her face. Most people remember that the two celebrities made international headlines within hours, eliciting profound sympathy for Rihanna and total outrage towards Brown. Much residual anger is still levied against the singer, as the incident has left an indelible stain on his reputation. In all fairness, some of his notoriety also stems from his subsequent run-ins with the law. However, the episode with Rihanna seems to have caused a cascading effect of disaster and self-destruction throughout the years. Although Chris Brown has achieved significant success despite his controversies, one can't help but to wonder how his career would have panned out otherwise. In this video, we will explore the ramifications Brown still faces because of his past. We will highlight how these consequences lead to a considerable loss in revenue and popularity for the star. In essence, it will be apparent that Chris Brown's legacy has been forever compromised because of how people perceive him. When Chris Brown's performance at the 2022 American Music Awards was abruptly cancelled, his fellow artists and fans were deeply disappointed. The singer was set to honor Michael Jackson for the 40th anniversary of the iconic Thriller album, alongside Ciara. Unquestionably, viewers would have witnessed an astounding feat, as Brown is hailed for his extraordinary dancing and stage presence. According to the AMAs, live shows change all the time. It's the nature of the business. This element of the AMAs didn't come together as we couldn't align on the performance, to no fault of Chris Brown. At the same event, Brown was named the top male R&B artist, where Kelly Rowland silenced a booing audience before accepting the award on his behalf. This accomplishment marked the first time the superstar won an AMA in 6 years. His last performance on the show, in 2011, feels like it was ages ago. Aside from the BET Awards in 2017, Chris Brown hasn't rocked the stage at a major televised event since the 2015 Billboard Music Awards. When he was last invited to perform at the Grammys in 2012, it was met with instant backlash as the hashtag #WomanBeater started trending on Twitter. The police report following the 2009 domestic violence incident with Rihanna also began making its rounds on the internet. It didn't seem to matter that Brown gave a stunning show as he sang, danced, jumped, and flipped on a multi-leveled set. Therefore, it's safe to say the Recording Academy has since preferred to disassociate with the singer entirely, as his win for the Best R&B Album in 2012 was his first and only Grammy. The impact live performances have on an artist's career shouldn't be overlooked, especially for someone like Chris Brown. In truth, no one can pull off the dancing and acrobatic stunts that come so naturally to the entertainer. Furthermore, very few vocalists can command a stage the way Chris Brown does. Just imagine what a musician like Beyoncé would be without her legendary performances. Or how about Freddie Mercury, Janet Jackson, Madonna, Prince, or Michael Jackson? So much of our adoration for such household names is attributed to their showmanship. Furthermore, live televised events contribute directly to single and album sales. There's a reason for the Grammy bump phenomenon, which refers to the sales increase following its airing. MTV claims a performance at the Video Music Awards can boost album figures anywhere between 20 and nearly 200%. And of course, the Super Bowl halftime show, the holy grail achievement for a pop star, can inflate an artist's streams tenfold. It's a shame that the idea of Chris Brown being offered to do the Super Bowl is unfathomable, considering his extensive catalog of hits and ability to captivate an audience. Maybe a day will come where we will again witness Brown in all his glory, center stage. In the meantime, his music videos and concerts will have to suffice. Unfortunately, the live performances that Chris Brown misses out on the most are not televised. Many international fans know this because he hasn't visited a city near them in almost a decade. The singer has been banned from several countries including Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. Some reasons for his denial stem from his crimes against Rihanna in 2009. Others are assumed to be based on his continuous legal troubles. Consequently, the last 3 tours Chris Brown has held have been domestic, only booking cities within the United States. As most people are aware, touring is where music acts generate their highest source of revenue. Everything from ticket sales to merchandise is how artists recoup after their record label has seized most of their royalties from streams and album purchases. Certainly, there's a demand for live shows from the star, as the Indie Goat tour in 2019 sold out in most venues. The $18 million it amassed was deemed a major success, mainly because it was run under an independent entertainment agency by the singer himself, while major companies facilitate nearly all other tours. Nonetheless, Brown's returns could have easily increased up to 4 times as much if he traveled outside the US. To offer some context, in the same year, Travis Scott attained $54 million, while Ariana Grande's tour collected $118 million, figures that trump that of Chris. Luckily, European audiences won't have to wait any longer, as the singer is set to return to the continent for the Under the Influence tour. The entertainer has already visited Canada in 2022 during Drake's OVO Fest, while the UK hosted him during their Wireless Festival the same summer. Thus, the restrictive days of local shows are behind the R&B sensation. Thankfully, fans worldwide should expect to see Brown live in action in the foreseeable future. Chris's inability to travel may have also impacted his quality of music overall. More specifically, it might be the rationale behind the excessive track listing for most of his recent albums. Originally, when Heartbreak on a Full Moon was released with 45 songs in 2017, people chalked it up as an exception. Yet, 2019's Indigo sported a whopping 43 tracks on its extended version. Fans received another 33 songs with the additional tracks on 2022's deluxe edition of Breezy. Between these LPs, Chris Brown has also teamed up with Young Thug for their collaborative project titled Slime and B in 2020. This output level shouldn't be seen as anything less than extreme, even in an era where oversaturation in the music industry has become the new norm. As a result, the response to Brown's last few projects has been lukewarm. The records have largely been criticized as being unfocused, bloated, and repetitive. The last widely reviewed album by the singer was Royalty in 2015, as most journalists haven't acknowledged his past 3. A reoccurring commentary among the public has also been that Chris has been making the same song for the past 10 years. And while his discography covers various styles and genres, much of his most popular singles have overlapping content and sonics. Still, it's understandable that Chris Brown's music is compromised because he's trying to make up for the loss in earnings he would have otherwise collected from touring worldwide. Additionally, Brown might believe that producing a more intentional and modest LP is against his interest at the time. So instead, he resorts to throwing a bunch of paint at the wall and hoping something sticks. For the most part, he's been relatively successful in utilizing this strategy. At the end of the day, he's had no trouble achieving platinum status with his past few albums. As the popular saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nevertheless, it's worth reflecting how the artist's catalog would benefit from more artistic ambition and purpose. Perhaps we'll never find out. Before the 2009 incident with Rihanna, some fans may remember that Chris Brown was the face of Wrigley's Double Mint gum. He also participated in a Got Milk campaign in 2008. However, as most people could expect, both deals were pulled from the singer following his arrest. From then on, Brown hasn't been part of any major endorsements. Obviously, corporations prefer to align themselves with celebrities perceived as wholesome and virtuous. The public opinion of Chris Brown, on the other hand, has been far from this criteria. Surely, one can only estimate the tens of millions of dollars he must have missed out on throughout his career. Everyone in mainstream music has had lucrative deals with companies, from Justin Bieber as a model for Calvin Klein to Drake and his partnership with Apple Music. A number of other joint efforts include The Weeknd's campaign with Bacardi, Ed Sheeran's contract with Heinz Ketchup, and Ariana Grande's arrangement with Starbucks. Sometimes, endorsements can offer additional benefits besides upfront cash. As claimed by Variety magazine, When Beyoncé signed a $50 million deal with Pepsi in 2012, the company not only put Pepsi logos on tour stages and Beyoncé's face on cans, it essentially gave Pepsi an investor role in her future projects, with the soda company providing what it calls a creative content development fund. Besides the enormous money a celebrity attains from such ventures, they also gain widespread visibility. It's no wonder that Chris Brown seems to be less pronounced than many of his musical contemporaries. What's more, in today's era, where attention is currency, collaborations of this magnitude directly translate to more streams and sales of an artist's music. Realistically, although Chris Brown may perform on live television and tour worldwide, endorsements from large-scale businesses seem to be most unlikely for him. Corporations don't believe the risk is worth their investment, chiefly because hundreds of other celebrities come with far less baggage. In the grand scheme, Chris Brown is an insanely successful and beloved figure. The popularity and number of hits he's been able to sustain over the decades is noteworthy, controversies or not. As far as talent goes, very few entertainers have come since him with the same degree of artistic ability. Conversely, many singers who've come after him seem to have surpassed his achievements. For instance, someone like Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, or The Weeknd can be seen as his contemporaries. It isn't difficult to imagine Chris Brown as a viable competitor to them. Currently though, he is far behind such household names, both in earnings and number of hits. The lack of television exposure, limited touring, and endorsement deals reveal that the superstar's career is compromised multifold. It could be true that Chris Brown's redemptive arc is still not complete, that we still have yet to see him restore all that he's lost. Or maybe, the superstar will always remain in a state of cultural significance, but with stunted potential. One thing's for sure, Chris Brown is just as talented as many of the most admired people in music, past or present. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. What are your thoughts about Chris Brown's legacy? Do you agree or disagree with the sentiments provided? Lastly, do you believe there is much more for us to witness from the singer? Why or why not?